right, we should be good.
Awesome.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started back. The next presenter is title It Takes All of Us, Engaging Every Partner in Their 100 Safest Days of Summer. Carol Lucio is regional manager for SAD. So, Carol, do you
need? Yeah, let's do it. I tend to be a walker as well.
There you go.
But I can stay here
No,
too.
you're good. Give me just a second. We're going to get this.
So I am Carol Lucio with SAD, Students Against Destructive Decisions, formerly Students Against Driving Drunk. Anybody know what year SAD was founded? I'll give you a hint. We're 45 this year. 1981. I love the numbers, people. My favorite people. Yes, 1981. We were 45 years old. Founded as Students Against Driving Drunk. There we go. A lot of people ask, what is the connection between SAD and MAD? Very simple. I like to say we are distant cousins who love a good family reunion. I love the MAD people. I love working with them. We are very mission minded, similarly, in that we all want to see roadway fatalities become a thing of the past. Part of Vision Zero, no more people dying on our roadways, is part of our mission. Theirs, of course, is very much focused on impaired driving prevention. Our students, we've always been student-led. They are not. They are very much focused on more victim support service and have done incredible work in advocacy, things like dropping the A word and getting designated driver as really a common nomenclature, and love them for that. But that's where our similarities end. We've never been funded by the same places. We've never operated from the same place. We are very different organizations. SAD is very youth driven. We've always been youth driven. And in fact, it was our youth leadership that led us to our name change in 1997. So we served as Students Against Driving Drunk for 16 years, and we are a 45-year-old organization. And people think we are still Students Against Driving Drunk when in fact we are Students Against Destructive Decisions. So as you can imagine, in 1981, when we were founded, cell phones were not an issue in cars. And one of the biggest issues that we currently face is distracted driving, which is beyond just the cell phones. Anybody know what the number one distraction is for teen drivers? It's not eating, not music. It is other people in the vehicle. So this is one of the reasons why the summertime is considered some of the deadliest time on our roadways for our teens, and why I asked about getting the KIPRIC data specifically for summertime, because I currently can't get that from KOHS. So I'm really excited. Can everybody hear? Are we okay? We've got 5 new things out here. I want to make sure that everybody's able to hear. That's all old stuff. You can hear. Thank you, Joe. Very well. Okay. Okay. So I want to share with you all a little bit. And normally I would have a more formal presentation, but I wanted to just show you straight up what is the website that I'm talking about today. It's very easy for anyone to get connected here. I believe everyone, all the way down to those local levels, can utilize the resource that we have in partnership with our lead partner, the National Road Safety Foundation. Incredible partner for SAD. We do a lot of things with them. In fact, we have a current contest with youth to create a public service announcement around speeding. If you know any youth that are interested in earning some cash, connect them with me. The NRSF contest is currently going on. Contest submission ends Friday, I believe. So please connect them with me on that. So there is a coalition. They do have a meeting coming up. But I think this really shows you a lot of the reasons why we exist, why this coalition has formed. It's not just a sad initiative. There are a number of organizations nationally that have really bought onto this because we know that one of the leading causes of death for teens is traffic crashes. And if you haven't heard me say it here before, Kentucky's considered the worst state in the nation for teen traffic fatalities, 4 years running. We do not like those kind of numbers. So I spend a lot of time talking with youth and engaging youth, and I'm really excited that I just met Miss Western Kentucky teen, Bella Franklin, whose platform is seatbelts. So buckle up with Bella and hoping to elevate her platform, not just here in Kentucky, but from a national standpoint as well, to encourage people to wear their seatbelts. I love data and I do share some good data, but I also share bad data, which when I say bad data is the unfortunate fact that last year in Kentucky, we lost 14, 16, and 17-year-olds in fatal crashes. 12 of the 14 were unbelted. 12 out of 14 not wearing their seatbelts. To me, that is just incomprehensible. I don't understand why the simple act of clicking in a seatbelt isn't happening for every human in the Commonwealth, let alone for our teens. So we spend a lot of time talking about these things, but summer is historically the most dangerous. There are far more teens out there. There are far more teens out there in cars with teen drivers that shouldn't be. We know passengers are the number one distraction for teen drivers. And the summertime, we increase those distractions. So this is why these things exist, to promote that culture of shared responsibility. That's really what SAT is about, elevating the youth voice to share that culture of shared responsibility. So there are a bunch of things out here. So I've already pretty much gone over the why it matters between Memorial Day and Labor Day. They demand our attention for teen drivers and passengers. So this is the most dangerous time of the year. If you want facts, there are some facts out on this site that can share these things with you. I shared one from Kentucky. I think those are really important. If you want one that's local to your county or your region, Kiprick can help with that, but the KOHS dashboard is also a great place to grab a quick number from as well, and I can help with that if anybody's interested in grabbing those. So what we find is that teen crashes tend to be inordinately more than those of all drivers. We want to change that. So in 2021, drivers age 20 and under made up only 5.1% of all licensed drivers, and yet they were involved in 8.5% of all fatal crashes and 12.6% of all crashes. This isn't even talking specifically serious injury. A lot of times I like to talk about fatal and serious injury crashes. I ask teens many times, it might be worse if you actually survive the crash. Your life would be dramatically altered and nothing like you ever envisioned. So these are the kinds of things we like to share with them, but they also need to hear it from each other. So you can see some of the different statistics that are up here. Teens drive less than most age groups, yet they are disproportionately involved in crashes and crash fatalities. This is a fact. This is not on this site, but it does find statistics show us that the average person will be considered an experienced driver after 5 years of driving. So here's the way I like to share that with the teens. So put your teens hat on for a moment. You're all teens in a classroom that I'm visiting. How many of you are in sports or play an instrument? All right. Sport or play an instrument? Played an instrument. What instrument? Piano. What age were you when you started playing piano? 5 years old. Excellent. How good were you at age 5?
Oh, I was horrible.
You were horrible. All right. He says he's horrible again. Okay, for those online. All right, but at some point you got a whole lot better, right? Okay, sports. Who was involved in sports? What sport? Basketball. What age did you start playing basketball? About age 10. Did you play all the way through high school? Okay, so in high school, how good were you? You were good. I know you were, Miss Anna. I know. What got you to the point where you were good? Practice. Did you maybe get some instruction from a coach? Did How about some experience? Did you play in a few games or more? Instruction, practice, experience. Apply that same concept to teens learning how to drive. They need instruction, practice, and practical experience in order to be a good driver. So 5 years is the average amount of time. Are they going to be an experienced driver while still in high school? No, they're not. So helping them to understand that it's not that they're necessarily bad drivers, it's that they lack experience is part of what we try to share with them and helping them to understand. I don't have it up here at the moment, but I do feel that this is a really great place for me to promote the Ford Driving Skills for Life program. Comes to Kentucky every single year. It's an incredible partnership. It's free for young drivers up to age 25, 21, up to age 21 to get hands-on what I like to call advanced driver education. They actually get to spin out a Mustang. They have driving coaches in the cars with them. I strongly recommend that if you know any young drivers, you encourage them to join us in Louisville, or if folks are in Northern Kentucky, they're also going to be in Cincinnati in May. So Louisville or Cincinnati, the second and third weekends in May, for Driving Skills for Life. Half-day sessions, so morning and afternoon, both days. I cannot stress more strongly that I think every young driver should go through that particular half-day experience. So check it out. I'll also send a link to Steve so we make sure that it gets out to everybody as well. So dangerous times and behaviors. If you're interested, I do have graduated driver's licensing postcards I can give to folks to hand out as well. But some of these things are the reasons why GDL laws exist. We know that other people are distractions. That's why we limit the number of people they can have in the car with them. Nighttime driving, seatbelts, of course, and distracted driving. All those things are included in the GDL. And there's lots of information here that if you wanted to share a statistic, you could grab a statistic. So just some things here. Again, we've talked about these. What's fueling the danger? So many of them are not buckling up. So many of them are driving distracted. And let's face it, so are their parents. So we need to make sure that we're also modeling good driving behaviors for our young people. And it's not just from the point that they get their permit, by the way. It's from the moment the car seat goes forward facing is the moment they are paying attention to how their parents drive. And the good or bad driving behavior is being modeled for these young people. So we're working to make these the 100 safest days instead of the 100 deadliest days. We really want to reframe this. So here's where the resources come in. We already have a lovely little booklet that has all 14 weeks of the focus right there ready for you to plug and play. If you've got social media folks, this is a great time to be able to check out what we have. So week 1 and 2, passenger empowerment, the parent-teen engagement, and a parent guide for teen driving. So there are summer safety snapshots. I'm not going to click on all of these, but just so you can see, there's information out here. For each week looks very similar. What's the action that could be taken? We also, by the way, have it all in Spanish. Tenemos todo en español también, si quieres. I do speak Spanish. I didn't just practice that just to say that. My husband is Ecuadorian and my mother-in-law does not speak English. So week 3 and 4 is on reckless driving, speeding, weaving, tailgating. Week 5 and 6 on visual, manual, cognitive, and auditory distractions. So as I mentioned, cell phones not the only distraction. Being able to talk to young people about some of the other distractions, which I spend a lot of time on when I'm in classrooms. If you are substance prevention and you want to focus on the substance prevention stuff, week 7 and 8 would be a great time for you to plug and play these resources. So again, the safety snapshots you've got here, alcohol impairment, what does that mean? Did you know there's stats here and different things that you can do and what could be the action steps that you can take? So all the weeks have these lovely little snapshots. Drowsy driving. This is one of those other things that I ask a lot of young people about. So I will ask them, what do they feel is more dangerous? Drowsy driving, drug driving, or drunk driving? Most of them will say drugged or drunk. But let me ask you this. Do you know plenty of people that would never, ever drive drunk? Right? How about drugged? Now, do you know anybody that's ever driven drowsy? We live in a sleep-deprived nation. We've got plenty of law-abiding citizens who never in a million years would get behind the wheel impaired, and yet get behind the wheel impaired cognitively because they're drowsy. Trust me when I tell you, I know where every single rest stop is in the state of Kentucky, because I know if I start feeling a little funny, I need to stop and get out, stretch my legs, put some water on my face. I understand the dangers of drowsy driving, but young people don't really think about that very often. So this is a really good thing to bring up to them and their parents, to be perfectly honest. And then it goes through for a couple of other things. We've got our back to school stuff here as well. So all of the logos for the 100 safest days are all out here that can be downloaded, that if you wanted to use this on any social content, you can grab it. A number of different organizations are involved in this. This infographic is nice. I happen to be more partial to this one here, which is the SAD infographic. Feel free to download that and use it. But there are also social media graphics here that you can grab, plug and play, a Facebook or X banner graphic. All those are out here. So I encourage you to use these resources this summer. You can use it even in advance of summer. It's a great thing to be talking about students before graduation, before school gets out, to have the students look at what they could be doing to make sure that their friends are the safest and that they don't show up next school year without someone else, which we hate. I'm not super excited that I'm going to Cooper High School tomorrow or Thursday. We just lost a young man Easter Sunday night in a rollover crash who didn't have his seatbelt on, 16 years old. Breaks my heart knowing that we're going to that school and I feel like we're there just a little too late. I hate that. I don't like to see, I tell all the young people, I don't want to see any of you. I don't want to outlive any of you. None of you. You should all outlive me. So that's what we all can be doing. I would encourage you at least sign the pledge, check it out, share this with some other folks, use the graphics. Super simple. If you want more information on the work that SAD does and how we are empowering young people to be positive peer influencers, I would love to chat more about that. I could come up here and turn on the fire hose and show you all the incredible stuff that we are doing all year long with our students, but would love to have you just share this stuff. Just less students dying on our roadways would be a really awesome summer. So, questions? Yes, ma'am. Steve's coming right up here.
Right up here.
Yep.
Thank you. I know you mentioned this offhandedly, and it was something that I was thinking about in the back of my mind, but the parents and the role modeling that we see. And of course, you spoke about this organization being very like youth focused, but are there organizations or other groups that try to like get that information out to parents? Because I know plenty of people that, you know, grew up not wearing a seatbelt because their mom didn't and things like that. It's especially, I don't know, just in rural communities here in Kentucky where it's just passed down. It's not important. So I'd love to hear if you have any extra thoughts on that parent influence, even though I know that's not exactly what you're.
No, it's a great question. And not to be fully self-promoting, but I did participate last October in a webinar with Operation Parent, very much focused on what parents can do. We created quite a number of resources that were directed toward the parents, both in English y en español también. So we have both because they very much are focused on both. So if you're interested in seeing that particular webinar, it is on the Operation Parent website. They're a great resource as well. Operation Parent, love them and the work that they do. But we do also some of that work. We just tend to be more of the youth led, but we also provide stuff for parents as well. And certainly working with community groups to help reach parents is an area that we can also support. Thanks for the question.
We have the Checkpoints program that we promote, and it is a parent-teen driver agreement. And the schools, we work with different counties right now. We're working with Kentucky River District Health Department, and then also with Bourbon County Health Department. And so they're implementing it. There are some brochures outside for the Checkpoints program. We've also worked with University of Michigan, and they put together a resource for checkpoints for parents and teens to fill out a parent-teen driver agreement online. And I can also give you the address for that, which is, hold on a minute. I should know it by heart, but I don't.
The Checkpoints curriculum's awesome. I encourage you to grab one of these before you walk out the door today.
It's at Young
Yes.
Driver Parenting, all one word, .org. And they built a specific section just for Kentucky. So we can actually see some of the data that's collected from that for Kentucky if people utilize that website.
Excellent question. Any others? Yes, sir.
We have one question from our virtual community, and this also pertains to Connect as well. Are the slides for your presentations available to everyone?
So I purposefully did not create slides. This is the actual website right here, and I will copy it and put it into the chat for everybody, but 100safestdaysofsummer.org is the site that I walked through today. So you're welcome to grab that. And then here, I'll let them. Here.
Thank you.
And I believe we talked about maybe, are you going to send out the slides to all the participants or should I collect emails? I'll let him actually say.
This is being recorded. And so we'll actually have those and make them available on the K-SPAN YouTube site. And if you go there, you can see all of our presentations over history that we've been able to record and put on there, as well as the Kentucky Safe Aging puts on a Falls Prevention Coalition, puts on
Yes, the Kentucky Safe Aging Coalition has quarterly meetings. Their next one, I believe, is June 28th, and it's open to everyone. And then, no, I'm sorry, June 18th. My bad memory. June 18th at 10 o'clock. And then we have a summit, annual summit, virtual summit that we do in September. That is on September 24th at 9 o'clock.
I think that answered the question from the chat. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned it was time sensitive that ended Friday.
Yes, so we have a contest with the National Road Safety Foundation, creating a public service announcement PSA idea. Literally, it is the student recording themselves saying, "This is my idea on how you could reach teens about speeding." They are not storyboarding it. It is the easiest contest ever. And NRSF is giving away up to $2,500 for the winning entry, but there are other levels of awards. So if you're interested in that, just talk to me before we leave. I'll give you my card. You can also find me at the upcoming Kentucky Safety Summit, which I'm sure Kyle will mention when he gets up here. You can find me there. I will be at the Summer Frisk Victory Over Violence Conference. So, but you can also reach out to me at any time. I love to meet with folks. I'm also going to be presenting for a couple of other groups this summer. So you may see my face pop up again. And don't worry, I always come up with new things to share, like our resource from AAA called Shifting Gears, the Blunt Truth About Marijuana and Driving. And if you want to learn more about that, I'd love to talk about that one too. So thanks for your time.
Thank you.